welcome to 4,000 and Counting. I'm Watty, and today I am joined by JT, Jamie Thomson from the Solway Sharks, the new general manager. And last time we spoke, you were the assistant coach and you were doing your thing there, but you took the interim role on the back end of last season, and then you took the full-time role on now. So congratulations on the new role, mate. How's the transition been for you?
Yeah, thanks. There, I'm not sure if congratulations is the right word to use, but
Yeah, commiseration. Sorry,
uh,
mate.
it's been good. It's completely different, but working with Martin on the daily is just second nature, really. So it's freed up a little bit of time at weekends, which is nice, which is what I wanted, and yeah, it's been good. It's been tough for the first couple of weeks, month on the road, but yeah, it's been a bit of a baptism of fire, to be honest.
So, for those that not aware, Craig Peacock was the general manager. He moved on, and you kind of filled the role part of the way through the season. What was it? Have you noticed any differences in kind of stepping into it last year and then having the summer and coming into it this year with maybe a different mindset on it?
Right, it's huge. Obviously, ultimately Martin has the decision well, Martin and John giving the nod on who we sign and stuff. But that was a team that Peaks and Martin had signed. I was obviously assistant coach then and had an opinion and stuff like that, but not really at the business side. And so I renegotiated all the contracts. Once told me who he wanted, so all that part, really enjoyed that. Had a lot of conversations with players over the summer that were of a different ilk,
Yeah,
to years gone by, and some of them were difficult, some of them were, really nice. But it's good. I mean, to be honest, I've just been kind of counting the days and counting the weeks to seeing us back on home ice. So Friday night was massive, and it was great to see the support that we had. But it's a completely different ball game to being behind that bench and just worrying about the next shift and what happens now. It's a 24/7 job, and we have quite a small team. It's only John, the owner, myself, and Martin really, and then a whole list of volunteers that help us in the background.
unreal volunteers up there.
Yeah, Caroline and Andrea Stenton and Peem Stenton, for the equipment side, like they're all without them guys, we wouldn't be able to operate. When I look at the staff that the other teams have got compared to us, they're all amazing. So they make this job quite easy for us.
What's been the difficult bit been? I suppose you've only really had the one home game, but
Yeah,
we were kind of joking off, and you said to me, I wanted to get off the bench, but Friday was the closer. I felt like I was getting closer and closer to it, getting back on
yeah.
there. Um, do you still miss that bit of it of like being on the bench, being like in the thick of it?
Oh, absolutely. It's a problem. I don't skate very well. My bats give me grief and stuff like that. So I don't like going on the ice that much because then I suffer for it, even just coaching. And then, but game day, I watched the first period stand next to John. That was a mistake. He won't mind me saying that either, right? Because uh, we see although we see the game differently, we do agree on some things. And then then I went down, stood beside the bench because everywhere I went, people were asking questions, and I just wanted to ask the game, and
Yeah.
then I was like, I kept catching me looking at Martin and Martin looking at me, but and I was like, just shut up, it's not your job anymore, But no,
Old
it's
habits
good.
die
But
hard, eh?
yeah, and I think I'll miss it for some time, and I'll help out when needed. But as I've said numerous times before, we've got Kyle, my nephew's on the team now, and Bailey's made signed a contract this year after a good end to the last season. And I always said when he did that, I would step back because I've always let him find his own feet. So
Let him
I
have a
don't want
crack on his
anybody,
own, right?
yeah, I don't want anybody thinking that he's there because I'm babysitting him because that's never been the case with either of them or any of them. So the timing was right, and it was 10 years as well. So nice round number, and yeah, we'll move on to new things now.
I don't know, like people seem to think sometimes you get that little hand up. Let me tell you, I played for my dad. I got fucking ruined more than
Uh,
everybody else put together, and I
well,
imagine you're probably in the same elk as my old man, where your nephew and your son aren't getting any freebies. They're probably
no, no,
getting a fucking
no, no,
getting
that's
it
for
worse.
sure. I think I think that's still true now. Like I'm overly hard on him. I even hear myself saying it sometimes, and
Catch
I'm like,
yourself.
shut up, man. Like, uh, but I think you have to be because that it's few and far between, but there's still always that element of the green-eyed monster kind of thing. But
Yeah,
both kids have done really well, and they've worked their nuts off to get there. So fair play to them.
both got bags of talent, bags of potential as well, and I don't imagine either the two of them, Solway clubs or Solway Sharks, would be the last club those boys play for. I imagine like it's going to be very much onwards and upwards. The career trajectory for those boys is in their own hands. They've got to just keep putting that work and working their bag off because the skills are there.
Yeah, I think so. I said to both of them, if you want to, they're both. Well, Bailey's pursuing a career outside of hockey as well.
Good lad.
In a trade, and I said to him, it's really important, because if you get that behind you, you can go and play anywhere in the world, have a bit of a holiday, even if you're only making a couple of quid, and you're not, you don't need to rely on that because you can make money anywhere and have a great standard of life. And then the other flip side of that is if you want to play for here forever, as long as you keep working hard, you could,
Yeah,
So. They'll do, they'll do well, and I've no doubt that the options will come up for them if they want to take them down the line. But who knows? Like, Bailey was 18 last week, and the visor came on for the cage come
yeah.
off the day after his birthday, and that was him. So I was like, well, it's a whole different ball game now because he's a cheeky little shit on the ice. So
Well, if I know if he gets too cheeky,
yeah,
now he's got the visor on. The first mistimed hit when you take that cage off and you rattle your chin
well,
off of
big.
somebody's shoulder. Like, oh, okay, yeah,
I
that's
was
what that
laughing.
feels like.
Big Cameron Ware caught him with a nice hit against Whitley when he was playing the reserve day. So the old team and kind of cut his lip in his first night with it on. I was laughing, saying that would be the first of many. I would think so.
And where's his boy? Looks like a fucking lump, is he not?
Do you know what? I was really impressed with him. As an import, people judge them on skill levels and stuff like that. But that boy works like he does not stop. Like his effort level is through the roof. I was really really impressed with him. Like if I hate to say this, but if he was a Brit, he'd be playing in our league. He'd be playing in the National
Okay.
League, no problem, just for sure. And maybe not at that level where that's needed up that next thing. But Jesus, his work ethic, like pulled that whole team up with him. I was really impressed with him. I was half expecting him to be a defenseman for some reason, just because I played
Yeah,
with
same.
Greg actually back in Dumfries years ago, his uncle,
Yeah.
and I was expecting about God, he looks just like them as well. I grabbed him after the game to find out how they were both getting on, and it was nice to see him. A really nice kid, actually, really nice guy.
Yeah, that might have been the most left field signing of any club of the entire summer.
That's
Whitley
Tony, right?
Whitley were yeah, no, Whitley are pulling off the Mike Ware's son side, and I was like, oh, okay,
Aye,
let's go.
yeah,
And then obviously you see the press release, he's a big boy, and I was like, okay, chip off the old block with the old man. So you touched on Friday night. It was the home opener. Two-part question. First of all, how did it go Friday? And second of all, talk us and talk the fans through what it is like for a pro slash semi-pro club to play fucking 7 weeks on the trot on the away from home before you even get one financial home gate in
yeah,
the bank account. It's got to be tough. So two
yeah,
parts,
yeah.
sorry, mate.
But like the first Friday night was brilliant, and in a number of ways, the support unbelievable, and and Leeds brought a decent amount of people like they always do, but I was really pleased that not that it was less than Leeds, but I thought that they would be the reason it was full, and it wasn't. There was a hell of a lot of home support there. It was there wasn't any seating tickets left. It was too deep at the glass.
Love
it was
that.
brilliant. It was probably traditionally we kind of struggle like the start of the season at Christmas we're usually about the 600-700, and then from Christmas on I don't know why we get 8,000-9,000 people 1,100 after Christmas, but we started the opposite of that this year. So we had I'm pretty sure it was 800 plus game one. And in that building it's nice and tight and everybody's got
Yeah,
good seats and the atmosphere was good. On the ice, really, a couple of Leeds are an absolute unit on that power play as well. Like they
yeah.
are what they are, but a couple of really soft power play goals for them. I felt to gain them a 2-goal lead, and then after that, Um, yeah, I don't think there was anything in it at all. I thought we were really good for. If we could have just snuck one more goal, it would have been a deserved point. I felt bit aggrieved that we couldn't get over. But Gospel's up there with the best in the league. He did what he did,
Stud.
and he was unreal. And Leeds, Ryan played a couple of the young kids when they were a bit short, and they did their job.
Perfect.
Aye, they were good. Yeah, yeah. It was good. It was good. It was more a relief getting in there and getting that over and done with. Because going into the second part of your question, um, 7 weeks on the road, with fantastic sponsorship and all the rest of it, but it's never enough.
No,
It's
of
never enough.
course.
So 7 weeks of mounting and spiraling costs, your wages and housing and coach travel and food and hotels and equipment and you
Yeah.
know we could only really start. So we only found out about that in like April that was going to be
Right.
the case, right? So it's not like that we can plan for that and well in advance because we really couldn't. So you're probably talking about 100 grand that you need in the bank 6 months earlier than you would normally have it. So that's been really really difficult, and fans have been amazing. We've seen some. I don't want to talk about Basingstoke really, but you've seen some. Like some of them even travelled down there. So they've all been champing at the bit to get in. But I mean, financially, it's been a real worry. It's been a real worry. Every week just dribs and drabs of equipment, and the boys have all been really understanding. When we signed their contracts, we said, look, new skates and stuff might be October, might be November this year, whereas
Yeah.
normally it's day one. We want stuff sitting there for them, and they've all been really understanding because they buy in and they want to be here, and it's important for them. Which has been a breath of fresh air actually, because you know what some players are like.
Yeah, some guys are, everything has to be perfect. Skates,
Yeah,
helmets, two pairs of
yeah.
gloves, sticks cut to the
That stick
perfect
tape's two mil
millimeter.
too thick.
Yeah, all of that shit. Like we've all played with guys like that. I call them shiny kit junkies. They always had to have
Yeah,
the best of whatever was coming in, the brand new stuff. The the one thing, and this is, I talked to Jamie McElroy about this. One thing you can't run away from. You can run away from skates until December. You can run away from whatever, like chest plate, leg pads. You can't run away from breaking sticks.
jeez,
The
it's
fucking
been
stick budget in that league must be.
oh my,
Well, he
oh my,
told me what the Steel Dogs spent, and I was like,
yeah.
gee, it's
It's
astronomical.
I mean, they're obviously a good. They've got a good relationship with their suppliers and stuff, and they've been really good with us as well this year. But I don't know what it is, man. They just like they're so light, and I don't know if like they're just
Because they're all
shit.
using 45 flex fucking sticks, man.
Yeah, like a lot of the boys are using 77, kind of 75, 80 flex sticks. Gone are the days of the 110 element like Kevlar, ultralight.
I cut down 110 as well when you were junior.
Yeah,
It was like a
yeah.
195 flex, so you couldn't even move it.
Like some of them, and there's no rhyme or reason between the brands either. That they all go. Doesn't matter what brand you're using. I would think I can't put a number on it, but a top import in this league could go through 25 sticks a season.
Easy.
Yeah,
One year in Bracknell, we've had this conversation on here multiple times. Obviously, I'm a centreman the way I took my face off, so I took my face off really aggressive, almost like a slash on the bottom of the stick. I did 54 one pieces in Bracknell one year.
That's a lot. That's
Mate,
a lot.
like
Yeah.
it'd get ridiculous. So you spend fucking 15 minutes taping your new button, taping it up, go out, use it for 3 shifts, and it'd be like,
Yeah, I was lucky. I think only the last couple of years of me actually playing the one piece stick came in. I think
yeah, you
I was
good old
always a
two
shaft
piece.
and a blade, or wooden ones before that. Yeah,
Well, I shared a photo actually this week of the Bison home opener, and it was my stall back when I was 16 playing for Basingstoke, and they got the Eastern Z claws there.
yeah,
Remember,
yeah,
remember them
yeah.
puppies? Like they fuck, it would hurt if you got a slash with one of them.
No, they were bad.
As a Z claw to the wrist was always sore, but they were, yeah, like you say, 110 flex. They were durable. You weren't snapping many of them in half during a
Yeah.
season.
I was laughing when I played for me. I was actually playing golf with Bobby Haig not that long ago, and we were laughing about it. And he was saying that we went the first year at Blackburn in that kind of EPL league, and if you broke a blade, just to take your blade out, take it to the equipment guy, and give him the broken one back, take the one back. There was none of this. There was none of this 3 and 4 sticks, and you had two at a time, and that was it.
Yeah. These guys are being good though because I get it. Like if your skates are starting to break down after a long season into summer, and you're probably having to wear them for an extra
Yeah,
6, 8, 10 weeks. I know to fans it probably doesn't seem like that much of a big deal, but if your skates are if they're on their way out, if you've just played 54 games and you've played a lot part in those 54 games, skates blow up. You got to add on another 120, 150 practices to those as well. Like, so if boys are hanging on, you gotta love the fact that they're buying in, and then I'm sure
yeah.
they'll be knocking at your door once these home gates start coming in.
Oh, we've got some of them sorted out, but certainly this week there'll be a couple more land for sure. And Peam Stenton, Liam's dad's the equipment manager. He's been, unreal, keeping some of them patched together and doing temporary fixes on them and stuff like that. So he's been really good. But yeah, we'll get there now. We've got the home opener out of the way, and as I say, the boys have been fantastic and really understanding and. It'd be maybe putting a bit too much pressure on themselves. As you say, 7 weeks on the road's no easy, and they were getting down with the results. But you look at the results; they were close.
Yeah.
They're not that far away, and a couple of bounces either side. So I'm sure we'll kick on now.
Who have been the team that have caught your eye the most in the National League this year?
Well, I think Swindon are an absolute unit. I mean, we've got them double home game this weekend, but right now, I think it's pretty hard to see past them as favourites, in my opinion, right now for the league. Um, But some of these results are just bizarre, man. Like Hull
Wild.
struggled there for a couple of games, then went out and absolutely railroaded a couple of teams like they did to us when we went down there.
Yeah.
Firepower on that team's insane. And then Milton Keynes have got a game in them. Peterborough in their own building are very solid. Some of these import goalies are just standing on their heads as well, every weekend. Um,
Oh, while we got you on that, what do you make of the import goalies? You for it or against it, or do you not really
it's,
care?
it's a dark tunnel, that, Nicky. I think look, I can understand why it's happening.
Me too.
Especially with a lower budget team, they keep it. They're keeping teams in the league. They're keeping teams in the game.
Yeah.
They're churning out results for them. So I totally get it. I do get it. And look, if there was a talent pool there at that level, then I'd probably be saying something different because I'm a big Brit goalie and British player supporter. But I think it's at this minute in time, it's probably a necessary evil to keep the level at where it is and keep the games more competitive with some of the clubs.
Totally agree.
Hopefully long term, it's a thing that we can eradicate again. But yeah, for now, I think it's an unfortunate thing. It is what it is.
And it does make such a bit difference for those bottom end teams if you've got a bit less of a budget and you can't afford to go out and sign two really, really good forwards, but you can sign a good forward and you can sign a goalie that's going to keep you in games for
I mean, some of
week
these
in,
guys are
week
getting
out.
50, 60 shots and conceding 2, 3 goals.
Yeah, it's just good
Maybe or
numbers.
less. Or less. So, um, a lot of the British goalies in the league aren't getting any younger, should we
Yeah.
say? So, that's why having these second teams and getting people game time as well at the lower levels is really important, really pushing them on. But then we also need to see clubs giving them a chance to start as well, and getting them
Yeah.
in there for when they can, and really push them on, or else the problem won't go away. So it's I think the league's not a development league; it is a kind of seen as a professional league in my opinion, but it does have a duty to bring these kids through and give them a chance. You see it with Leeds, like they had 4 or 5 guys with cages playing the last couple of weeks in their short. That's great to see. We play Bailey, Owen Ray, Kyle when he got his chance, Torrin Anderson. All kids under 21 years old. So Kel Beattie when he first had his mask on when he first came. So we do have a duty to bring them through and bleed them through a bit, but we'll see how it goes in the next couple of years, I guess.
It's something myself and Ryan's, but I went up to Leeds last year to catch a game and Ryan was suspended, I think, or so I was stood chatting to him and he was like, "What? You wait, I've got a couple of face cages this year and a couple of face cages next year that are going to step in and they're good." And it sounds
They
like
were
these are
good,
the
man.
boys that are already
Yeah,
stepping in and see a couple of them like scored their first goals already. And
yeah, yeah,
That's
they were
that's
good.
good to see.
Both me and Martin were really impressed with the young Bennett kid in defence. He didn't do anything flashy. Made a good first pass, just everything you want from a young defenseman. But he was
Literally, that's
solid.
it.
Took some big hits and shoot them off. And he's not the biggest of kids. And the Vengus guy, the forward,
Yeah.
he was good, powerful, got stuck in. The other kids didn't get a huge amount of ice time, but didn't do anything wrong either. But um, if he keeps hold of them, he's got a good core there. It's a cheap way to build your team. You can spend extra money on more experienced guys and keep them up there, which is what it's all about.
Well, that's how you remain competitive, and in lead situation, it's how you contend for trophies year in year out.
Yeah. But he's pulled big in. I said Gallagher in down there, you know, which hurts because he's Scottish. We maybe missed the boat on that one earlier doors, but Innes for me is one of their better forwards now, one of their best forwards.
He's
I
good.
think he's so he's so impactful. He's strong. He hits. But he's always been able to score ever since his junior days. But I think since he's down there, he's developed into a proper player instead of just a. He was always a bit of a just wanting a breakaway kind of kid, cheating all the time and stuff. But his all round game's really good now. So yeah, it's really nice to see these kids coming through.
Just looking at your roster this year, obviously you lost Mason, who went to Fife in the summer, but
Yeah,
like kind of on that level of the Brit, you bring in Jordan Bresser, you bring in Duncan Spears, so a couple of
yeah,
Scottish boys coming back up to play for the Sharks. How have those lads settled in?
yeah. But look, both really well. Both have been here before, So
Yeah,
um, losing Mason was a massive blow for us in the summer. Not unexpected, but we did think there was maybe a chance we could get one more year out of him. But again, look, we can't stand in his way, and he's getting the plaudits, and you never know if it'll work out up there. But so far so good for him. But it was important that we both felt, me and Martin and John, that anybody we brought in made us better. Um, and I think we've done that. We've brought in a hell of an experience between Boessa and Dunk. Both have won trophies, which was important. Both have been here before. Both know what it means to be part of this club and what the club means to us and the people around about it. So it wasn't really a settling in time for them. It was more a, you know, coming home and hopefully they can set down some roots here. And I'm really hoping that both of those will be here until they don't want to play anymore. So
long-term
massive.
guys that just part of the furniture.
Yeah, look, and they know all the fans. They know the young kids, they know the older guys, they know everybody. So it's been great for them. It's been great for us. Yeah.
What about the addition of Carter Hamill? Saw him mixing it up with Deacon Field at the weekend. Like, just love to see that proper
Fair
square
play to him.
off. And
Yeah, fair
yeah,
play to him. Say that the wee man, he'll take anybody on. He's not, but we don't really. I'm not saying we don't want that from him. We do want that from him, obviously. And to me, it changed the game. I thought we were struggling, bit of spark, and then boom, we're back in the game. We get a point now. We get beaten a shootout. We get a point out of it. I doubt very much we get that point if he doesn't do that at that point. So, lit a fire under us. He's funny. He's funny, man. Like he's a character. We had him here as a kid, briefly coached him at the juniors, and he popped in and out. So he's another one that's really well known here.
yeah.
So it's like he's always been here. But you've got to keep your eye on Carter. He's always up to something. He's a good kid.
Oh, is he one of them? Is he? Love that. Couple of new imports. You bring in Dylan Stewart. He's
Yeah,
currently leading the way, 8 goals in 10 games, and
yeah,
added 6 assists, 14 points, running at a nice little clip there. Obviously, when you're trying to replace the goals of Nolan Gardner, how is it in recruiting like in the off season? Because not only are you recruiting to fill an import skates, you're recruiting to fill like a 50 goal scorer skates. It's
yeah.
it's it's a tough job.
Yeah, look, obviously we had a lot of fan noise about that as well. Callie, Guardsy, and Mason going, Dunny going. They were like, "Oh, I mean, it's 150 points between the three of them." We're like, "Yeah, but we haven't won a trophy, or we haven't made the playoffs, so something's
Yeah,
got to change." So, I think Stewie has settled in really, really well. He's a fantastic guy, and that was really going to be hard because Guardsy, Nolan and Dunny are both
yeah.
brilliant people, brilliant people. So that was always going to be tough as well, replacing that aspect of it. And Stewie's came in and he's like he's always been here. Like I refer to Bailey said to him after a couple of weeks of being here, says that he's one of the nicest guys I've ever met. Right? I was like,
That's awesome.
And Derek's here with his partner. She's come with him from America, and it's been a total upheaval for him. It's like a total new a new thing. So he's maybe took a couple of extra weeks to get going, but he's scored. That's him to score 2 weekends in a row now, and chiseled some important assists and stuff like that. And another really nice guy, completely different character, quite quiet, quite reserved, but he skates well, and I think he's now starting to show glimpses of what we thought he would bring to the team. The past couple of weekends. So I'm looking forward to seeing him kick on a bit now.
Just pulling your boy's schedule up here. So obviously you have played 7 on the road, and
Yeah.
that is going to allow you to have a couple of home and homes here and there starting this weekend. I mean, I'm sure if you were having home and home for your first time, you probably wouldn't pick Swindon to be your first home and
No,
home.
you probably
Y-
wouldn't pick
y-
Swindon, but you probably wouldn't pick to be in Sheffield the Friday night before it either, right? So
Oh,
we're
are
in
you really?
we're
Fuck,
in
3 and
Sheffield on
3.
Friday. Yeah, and then we play potentially the top team in the league back to back the next 2 nights. So it's a tough one for the boys this week. Yeah.
But then,
Yeah.
obviously, the nice thing is you do have that. So after Sheffield, you do have that run of home games where Swindon, Romford,
Yeah.
and then Bristol. So if you boys are going to be getting into the playoffs and going to be in the business end of the season, Romford are going to be one of the teams you have to beat. Bristol are going to be
Well,
one of the teams you have to beat, and you're
aye.
going to have to be here or there taking points off of your Swindons, off of your MKs, and off of
Well,
everybody else.
the black and white bit in the case, you have to beat everybody at some point, right? So, and I think in this league that's possible. You've seen Bristol beat Milton Keynes, right? So,
Yep.
and year on year we've done it. We've took points off every team in the league, right? So we have to have confidence in that, and I think we've got a more experienced, a deeper squad this year than we had before. So you have to go into every weekend confident that you're coming out with points. 6 points this weekend, possibly a big ask, right? But it's possible. It's been done before. A betting man would take 3 or 4 points right now,
100%, yeah.
but you go into every game confident that you can get a result, and uh, these double home weekends are a bit of a double-edged sword. It's great to get games under home advantage, all the rest of it, but then the GM, the business side of things, it's actually not that great for us because it's expensive to come to hockey now. We put a
Yeah.
we put a good product on the ice, but you and your missus come, or you and your partner come Saturday night, and it's, I don't know what it
And
is,
again, Sunday.
30 quid to come in. You have a couple of beers and whatever, and then you come again Sunday. It's 100 quid weekend, and
Easy,
so
yeah.
no, and then to do that 2 3 weeks in the bounce, it can affect your numbers on some of the games. So from the business side, it's not that great. It's great for the travelling teams coming up here, but
That's what I was
from
going to
us,
say.
it's
It's
not.
fantastic for them.
Yeah, it's not that great for us, but we'll take it.
That
And
being said, if you started with a win over Swindon and then a win over Swindon, and then you win that one Romford game next week, you can guarantee the second Romford game, the Peterborough game, is there's going to
yeah,
be as dear as it is.
oh, they'll be there.
I'm
They'll
not.
be
I'm
there.
not saying like the happy clappers or anything, but if you're churning out wins at home, people are not going to want to miss it. And
Oh,
I said it on my podcast yesterday. I said I can't wait to go back in the Basingstoke Rink on Saturday. I'm going to get fucking pelters left, right, and centre. But I said, they're a sing when you're winning. Basingstoke's
yeah,
loud when they're winning. Like I've played there, I
yeah,
know what it's like. Played against them, I know what it's like. But when they are winning and they are loud, and you are rocking a 3, 4, 5, 6 game winning streak at home, that place is gnarly. Like the roof's coming off,
yeah.
and it does make a difference. And I think if you boys have that home stretch where if you can just start turning out victories, I think the fans are going to come through the door because I think you're going to get people coming down from Glasgow, and obviously we spoke to John about this before, getting fans from elsewhere, and if you get a winning product on the ice, people are going to want to come and watch.
Well, I think that's for sure. I mean, most of the fans, the loyal ones, they come, hell or high water, they'll be there anyway. But it's dragging the people in and giving them, like the Leeds game, a 3-2 loss, but they see the amount of
Oh, lost you.
positivity and comments I've been getting back. You got me now.
Yeah, got you.
Aye, so the Leeds feedback was amazing. So if we keep playing like that, we'll get more results at home than we do losses. And look, business side of thing, we need a run. We need to get back on the horse now. The excuses are over. We're back in the building. We're training 3 4 times a week. We're skating through the day. We're skating at night. We're back in the gym. So it's time to get down to business. So we between now and Christmas, we need a run of results, whether that be 4, 5, 6 wins on a bounce, or whether it be 6 wins at the next 12 games. We need to
Yeah.
do something. So now is the time. So that it has been tough, but it's also a benefit now. We're back at home. We've got a run of home games, so there's no excuses as far as I'm concerned. We need to get running. It doesn't matter who you're playing. So
It cuts that travel down for you boys, and it cuts the away travel costs as well. While you
yeah,
try and recoup some sort of money. Obviously, you guys have had it. Basingstoke have had it. I'm not going to push you too much on the Basingstoke situation, but I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about it. Obviously, I had tickets. I was teed up, ready to go, just down the road, but a little bit less invested than what you boys were. The fact that you're 30 minutes out of town, the game doesn't go ahead. Um,
yeah,
in my opinion, a fucking bullshit excuse from Planet Ice that didn't really sit well with anybody, including the Basingstoke faithful, all the Solway people that had, like these guys and
yeah,
girls. Some of them travel down on like the Friday night and that they were already in the
yeah.
night hotel the night before. They got a hotel for the day after. Then we can make it a weekend of it, and then the game gets cancelled. Just talk us through like, and obviously we're talking about finances as well. You yourselves and Basingstoke both in that same boat, both been playing away,
Yeah.
but Basingstoke need a home gate. You guys don't have money to piss away on fixtures that are not going to be fulfilled. Can you just talk us through like the frustration of the situation?
I think first of that, like, if I put I felt sorry for both sets of players, right, as a start,
Yeah,
right, because Basingstoke they'd have been pumped as well, right, to get back in their own building. But the fans, man, like on both sides, forget the Scottish guys coming down. The home fans must have been absolutely devastated because they've been so supportive of their team getting them back. They've had such a good uplift, so that's tough. And from us, I think the frustration now is how do we get that game played, right? I know that John's on talking to Planet Ice and to the league and stuff, but it's a cup game, so it needs to be played by X date. We don't have any dates where we can go back down there, and so right now, I really don't know what's going to happen with it. That's the honest answer,
yeah.
and that's where the frustration comes out. Um,
She can't
if
expect you
anything,
guys to travel that distance midweek, and you equally then couldn't put you on down in Basingstoke on a Friday night if you then got to be back to do home and Solway
well,
for Saturdays.
I think
Like
that
that's just
that's what the
ridiculous.
scenario is right now. The scenario is right now that when we look at
That's
it,
ri-
the only window is that you play on a Friday in Basingstoke and then have to get straight back up the road for a double home or even a home Saturday away Sunday. So you'd be away Friday, away Sunday. Or the other scenario was it was three away, 3 and 3 away from home, which to be honest, that's just a non-starter as well. You
just
know,
so financially expensive to do that.
financially expensive, boys. Some of our teams still work.
Got kids and
kids, families, and also player safety and well-being. As well. 3 and 3 back to back, 2 3 weeks in a row.
no.
It's not good for their bodies, for their mental state, for injuries. So I don't know. It's John's deal with the league directly on it. I don't know what'll be the outcome. We'll go with whatever they decide, but who knows? I don't know. It is frustrating is probably the right word for it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was frustrating just for everybody concerned because
Well, both
from
clubs,
what I can
right?
get,
The
yeah,
clubs aren't at fault, right? It's not. It's not
no,
Basingstoke's fault. It's not Basingstoke's fault, right? It's not the
no,
Bison's fault. Shit
it's
happens.
it's the operator. I just think it was well, we had some information leaked to us and from people who were in the know, let's say, when it comes to putting the ice down, and they flat out said there was no way that game was ever going to head. They told them they needed at least another 24 hours in order to get
Yeah,
that ice to where they wanted it, in where they would be happy to sign it off. Now, we also then saw Gosport's Rink after being shut for 2 weeks, getting the green light to reopen, and it was down to the fucking concrete in places.
yeah.
Like,
I saw the photos. Yeah,
there's at some point there's got to be a duty of care from all rink operators across the UK, whether it be Planet Ice, whether it be everyone active, whether it be you guys that got
yeah,
council rinks. We can't be risking the players' injuries and health
yeah,
because you want to make a fucking buck and you want to open the rink when it's not ready to be open. If the rink's not ready to be open, close it and get the facility work and get everything
yeah.
up to running speed. Get the game, get the ice set to game temperature. Like let these guys come out and ultimately, like you talk about earlier, people paying money for a service. They're paying to be entertained. I had
Yeah,
Jamie Russell on, and he talked about like people's entertainment dollars, where they spend
yeah,
their entertainment dollars. And if you've gone without all week, so you can go to I don't know, fucking MK Bristol at the weekend, and you're going to drop your money on your tickets, and you're going to get your hot dogs and your pints, and you've paid for a babysitter, and you got and then it all goes up tits up because the ice isn't ready. We saw it in Manchester last night. Manchester Sheffield, a game in the
yeah,
Elite League
shocker.
getting called off because of the ice. But
Yeah,
something needs to be done about it because like that's three in little over 10 days here.
yeah. I think we're in a really lucky situation here. I've said it over the years. Like our rink for me is one of the best in the country. You know, not the biggest, but so accommodating. And if anything ever goes wrong, you know, we know where we stand with it, and it's really well looked after. But that's not always the case. You know, there's probably two sides to the coin with the Basingstoke thing. Operator has to have, you know, take some of the blame. Were they pushing it on to try and help Basingstoke because they knew the financial situation and
Yeah.
they negate? Were they under pressure from the team to get it done, or was it vice and like who knows? Like, you know, so there's probably a bit of blame on either side, but at the end of the day, it's done now, and you know, I just hope that it's fixed and they don't shut down again, and you know they can get that team rolling. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, I keep having to try and explain to a 3-year-old why his skating lessons start date keeps moving back, and then I'm like, yeah, it's definitely going to be next week. So then from like Wednesday,
Yeah,
he's like, Daddy, is it skating on Sunday? Uh, maybe I don't know.
maybe.
Like, yeah, maybe
Maybe.
I don't know what to
Yeah.
tell you, kid. But I think it is. I think it is a go next weekend. So here we
Good.
go. Third generation of what going to be kicking
Strap
about.
yourself in.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he's just hockey daft already. Well, well, again, another big topic since we last had you on to what's current. We had the big ban from Jay Lucas in the Whitley versus Solway Sharks 2 game up in the SNL.
Yeah.
The ban length obviously hasn't come out. Whitley have put a little statement out saying he'll play no further part in 25-26. And I know anyone that's been following along, the video kind of went viral. Over 1 million people saw it.
Crazy.
And for me, I struggle to remember a cheap shot as bad as that. First and foremost, the player that got hit, how's he doing?
Yeah, Scotty's okay. He's fine. He was lucky. His arm was in a bit of a mess from the slash.
Slash.
But he was okay. There's no lasting damage there. He was really lucky. Um, I was actually on the bench, as I said earlier. Bob Chalmers is the coach of that team there, and he was on holiday that weekend. So I actually took the bench that game, and I didn't see it at all during the game until after it when the guys from the stream sent me the clip, and I was like, Jesus, can't believe I missed that, you know. But when you watch it, everybody the puck's in the corner, everybody's looking at the play, you know. Even Bentham was next to him, and you know, categorically he 100% did not see it, you know. Like,
He's facing that way.
um, yeah,
He's
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
But I mean, first of all, like I done some stupid stuff when I played, right? Like so,
Same.
maybe not like that, but I think Jay will regret that massively. And obviously, it's going to have an impact on him. He can't play the rest of the year, and see how it affects him moving past that. He's also really, really lucky that it wasn't an inch higher up or lower down, and paralyze a guy or worse.
Yeah.
You know, and I think the you know we need to get rid of that shit. It just doesn't the amount I actually said to, I think it was you I said to, the amount of cheap stuff that's happening in these
Mad.
lower leagues now is mental. Like it's mental. You see Carter and
Where's it come from?
I don't know. Like watching stupid films, you know. I don't know. Like it's just, you know, it's not real
Stop
life.
watching
You
fucking Shawty Boys.
know?
It's not real. Like,
Yeah.
um,
I mean,
so I'm
it's
going to do
tough.
a YouTube thing here, folks. And if I actually remember how to do the edit, if you click here, up here somewhere, I'm going to link to Dr. Victoria Silverwood's episode. Add that to the queue. This is what me and Victoria have gone into length about this, and had that, and this is my big thing that I want to say to all of you players. You don't want to be the fucking guy that changes hockey forever. Because had that Jay Lucas broke his neck, the game that you're all playing today is fucking done. It
Done.
is
Yeah,
done. It becomes no
yeah,
contact. You're all in cages.
yeah,
Like it's finished,
yeah,
and you don't want to be that guy
yeah.
because it will give a legal precedent if you were to paralyze somebody, to put them in a chair, um, the league would struggle to ever get insurance again.
Oh, it'd be
Just
horrendous. Aye, it'd be horrendous. Yeah,
like you don't want to be that guy. If you've got an issue,
no,
boys, come on. We saw it. Look, you just about to say there. Carter and Deacon at the weekend.
yeah,
They square up, they have a good go. Your ex-boy, Kian,
yeah,
Chevy up there in the
yeah. Big
SNL.
shame. Yeah,
They square up, they have a go. Both guys go sit for 2+2, go sit for 5 minutes. It settles the game down, or it G's the game up if you need a lift for your team.
yeah,
It self-polices. Nobody's getting really hurt. Yeah, you might break your hand every now and then. You might get a fucking pop nose. You might get a wee black eye. But we're not talking broken spines, or if that
no,
boy in Coventry didn't have a face cage on, you'd still be picking bits of his teeth and his jaw up
yeah.
off the ice for a week after that. He was very, very fortunate that he did have a cage on. And then we had the one in the Slough versus MK game where Isaac
And
Murray
he
takes a
missed
swing
him.
at the boy. Lucky he missed. But if he
Yeah,
didn't miss, like I've been sent one from Oxford versus Bristol. I'll put that out there soon. Where the Oxford player cross-checks the Bristol player in the face. The Bristol boy then drops his gloves and hits him with a couple. The Bristol player gets three game ban for fighting an unwilling combatant, and the guy that threw the cross check didn't get anything. It's like
yeah, it's mad.
there, there needs to be a massive clamp down on sticking, and I think high sticking, cross checking in the head. We focus so much on taking like the hits to the head away with body contact with shoulders.
Yeah,
I never thought in the day that we would have to focus on taking hits to the head away from
yeah,
fucking using sticks as weapons. Don't get me wrong, and I'm not going to sit here and say that I never slashed anybody, I never cross-checked anybody, because I did both plenty, but I never slashed anybody in the head. I never
no,
cross-checked anyone in the back of the neck. You know, you're in front and you're battling, and you're using your stick for gameplay as opposed for as a weapon.
yeah.
But these ones have been like borderline assaults, basically.
Yeah, yeah, you're right there. I mean, the one in Billingham that the people said, "Oh, I had a face cage on." I said, "Well, I'll stop here, right?" I said, "That kid that did that didn't go. Oh, he's got a face mask on, so fuck him."
Yeah.
That didn't go through his mind. He didn't know he had a face cage on. He was just doing it anyway. So if he didn't have that on, his whole face is broken.
Oh,
You know.
bad.
Um, so I don't know where it comes from, Nicky. I don't have the answer on that for sure, but it needs stopped. Players that are willing and able to do that in this game don't deserve to be playing it. It certainly wouldn't have happened when I played.
No.
And I'm lucky that in the higher leagues it doesn't happen. So why are these guys that are going to work on a Monday doing shit like that? That's
Yeah, it's a wild thing, isn't it?
you know,
Yeah, it's crazy to me that you could do that, and it's not even like semi-pro, like SNL. No one's getting paid in the SNL.
no,
I'm not saying I don't know if any of the Whitley boys still take any money or whatever. They may well do for travel and bits and bobs, but as a rule, like league wide, it's same as like the NHL too. None of these guys are getting paid to be there. Like
no,
just and I get the competitive juices. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying don't go out and make it competitive just because it's not professional.
no,
Absolutely, like work your bag off, try and win, fight if you need to, do whatever, block shots if you need to. But things that we can avoid. This is what something else I talked to Victoria about. This weekend we've seen Capone in Cardiff stick to the face. We saw Mark Pitts in Gosport, so Solent. He's got top and bottom eyelid surgery on his right eye, so speedy will come to him. And then we saw the skate to the face of Harry Hatfield. These are all accidents, and they're bad enough.
yeah,
Let's not add fucking intentional ones
yeah,
to it. Let's not
yeah,
add intentional sticks and cross checks and slashes to the head. We have a brilliant thing in this sport where if you don't like the guy on the other team, you can ask him to fight, and then you can square up and you can beat the shit out of each other, and then you can go and sit in the penalty box. Like we have a built-in mechanism for taking care of this stuff. It doesn't need to be taken care of with cheap shots. And
no.
you know, call your fucking teammates out. Like if your teammate thinks that's acceptable, you need to be having a fucking word with him in the locker room because that 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 is going to get you run from behind in a game by some other donkey on that team. Because when it's when push comes to shove and it starts getting a wee bit chippier, so you need to talk to your teammates. You need to have more respect for each other. And you saw like again, keep reverting back to it. Field and Hamill at the weekend. There's a respect there. Those guys,
Yeah,
they throw down. There's a respect there.
well, there's a good
Nobody's like
one in
cheap shotting the other
there's a
one.
good one in the Hull game as well.
Yeah,
Josh and Kyle Ferguson. We tap after it was done, nothing after it. Good fight. You see them talking to face like just the way it should be. Like
yeah,
that's the way it should be. And then after that, it's done, right? And if it's not done, do it again, right?
yeah. Like
So
yeah, exactly. Again, that built-in mechanism it still remains there.
yeah.
A few more questions for you before I let you go. We've got what? We've got like 10 weeks before Christmas here. Maybe a little bit less. What's the plan for Solway? What's a successful like few weeks for you look like here?
Well, I think dragging ourselves up into a playoff spot come Christmas, and then kicking on and cementing it has to be our number one goal between now and then. Anything more than that is would be
Fantastic.
amazing. Quite right, quite probably maybe a wee bit too much of a stretch where we are right now to want more than that. But I certainly think pulling ourselves up into that position and staying there is where we want to be. And when we first come into this league, it was Aaron Nell and a couple of others that actually say, don't between now and Christmas, it's all about just being in the hunt and being there or thereabouts. And I kind of agreed with that, but then the first two seasons that wasn't enough because we were in the hunt come there, and when we've never been able to just like missing it by 1 or 2 points 2 years in a row is like mind-numbingly hard. But so this year, I don't think it is enough. I think we need to be in there by Christmas and in there and then kick
Cementing
on and push up.
yourself.
Aye, getting in there, making your home rink a kind of fortress, taking care of business there, and then chipping away at points on the road. After Christmas is hugely important, and then in the playoffs, anything can happen. So that's the goal for the team. I'm pretty sure me and Martin are on the same, and all the guys are on the same page about that. From now to Christmas, it's getting up into the playoff spots and not just being in there and dropping in and out every time somebody else has a game in hand or rest it. Being in
Yeah,
there, and that's your spot, and the only way is up from there. That's the way we have to. That's the way we have to be from Christmas on, really.
because the way the league stands this year and kind of how well balanced it is across the board, that battle for the bottom couple of playoff spots is going to be no fucking joke this year. Like there's going to
I
be
don't. I
big
don't
time
think the
battles
league
going
is
on.
since its inception. I don't think the league has ever been as strong as this as
No,
this
it's
year.
not.
People like Ben O'Connor, Batch, all these
Yeah,
guys dropping down. Just made it. It's just made it a better, a much harder place to be at the top, but also at the bottom, right?
yeah.
Like Bristol are. Let's not cut any. But Bristol are a good team. They're stronger this year,
Much
right?
improved. Yeah.
Basingstoke are a good team. Like they've got a good experienced squad. They'll be fine when they get in their own building. They'll start winning games. I have no doubt
They're
about
better
that.
than what that Bees team were last year.
Yeah.
So if you
Oh yeah, for
just
sure. Aye.
straight away, if
And
you
I,
look
and
at it like that,
I don't know him. I haven't had any deals, but I've heard really good things about the coach. He's got a good rep, and the boys seem to like him, and they think he's good. And so, yeah, I think you're right there. It's going to be tough, but we can only focus on who you play, 20 minutes at a time, and
yeah.
just try to take points off them, off all of them. And I think we will. I really do think we will. I still stand by. It's the best team we've had since we got into this league. It's the most experienced and talent wise. I think we've improved this year. I think we've got a better team. But having a better team and having a better team on paper and actually being a better team and getting results is two different things.
Yeah.
So
It's a
um,
tough league to get results in. There's no gimmies. You don't look at any weekend and go, "Oh, that's 4 points." It's just
no,
that it doesn't happen in this league now. Yeah,
no,
most teams that you play against, uh, they're 1 or 2 weekends away from being on a 5, 6 game win streak. Like everyone can kind of put together some wins. There's there's great talent up and down, and as you said, some of the young guys coming in now. There's some good talent on the young end. The import standard seems to be getting better.
yeah. I look at Brindley Caps. I take him as an example. I mean, I
Yeah,
remember seeing him for the first time about 3 or 4 years ago in a Scotland England game up at Dumfries, and he stuck out like a sore thumb to me. I actually met his mum that trip as well. I was starting having a talk, spoke to his mum, and I've kind of kept an eye on him over the past couple of years, and like he's come in now, Telford after not working out in America or however he ended up back, and like instantly came in and started scoring goals. Like
that first one he
he's
scored was disgusting.
it's ridiculous. Like, he's
Oh,
only I think was he 18, Brindley?
18, yeah, he's still a nipper,
Yeah.
like.
So, and there's lots of them. Kyle scored one. I think he had 3 points at the weekend there. Owen Bruton, the kid Reader at Hull.
Yeah.
Vengus at Leeds. Even young boys like Shaw and them at Swindon. Like there's loads of them about the league line. They're all impacting and making it hard for some of these older guys to get jobs. So them added to your Dunbars and your Batch and your O'Connors and all of these guys dropping in. It's bloody good. It's a bloody good league now.
Yes, definitely a good league. So you have that thing, obviously, with your head coach being the GB20's head coach. How does that work? Because I don't imagine you boys get any break in the fixtures when GB go away. So do you have someone
No.
step in and jump on the bench?
Yeah, so I'll do it.
You'll do it, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that was part of the agreement. We actually spoke about it a couple of weeks ago when we were looking at the schedule. Um, Matt, it's something that the club are really proud of. We've produced some hell of a GB players over the years for such a small club, and Martin, I'm not think it's any strange. I wasn't too sure if he was going to keep committing to it this year, but he wants to do it, and the club will support him any way we can. So I think I think he misses 3, 4 games, something like that. I'm not sure, but I need to have a look at the schedule. But yeah, myself and we'll probably call up Bob Chalmers from the SNL team when he's free to help me out on the bench and stuff. But it's no big deal. I'm about the team all the time anyway. I'm at every practice, so they'll be all right when that happens.
Have you noticed any sort of change in relationship with guys that obviously you've been there for your partner furniture? We talk about partner furniture, and no one's partner furniture more than yourself up there. But obviously you've been the player, the coach, the assistant coach, but now you're the GM. And you're gonna have a lot of guys, similar guys that have been around. Do you find relationships any different now that you're like the GM, or is it much the same?
Yeah, no, no, not really. To be honest, I think I'm quite a black and white guy. I'm always
Yeah,
I just say it the way it is. So I haven't changed that approach with them. Some of the stuff we're talking about is different, but not in the way that they react to what you're telling them or anything. And I think just having an honest and open relationship with all the players and everybody is something we've always done up there, as whether you're a coach or a manager or whatever. So nah, it's not really changed. I mean, don't get me wrong, some of them, when it comes down to contract negotiations and money and stuff, and some of them could be difficult. But again, as a team, we always try to make sure every player has everything they need, and we can give them whatever they want. And sometimes they want too much, and we have to try and get to that situation. But they've been really good with me. I haven't seen any real change in attitude. Might be different in their group chat. Like I wouldn't like to read what they say about
yeah,
me and that,
right.
but I don't really give a shit about that. To be honest.
Yeah, that's yeah, let them crack on. And have you noticed any difference? Is there like league-wide GM meetings and stuff that you got to attend, and is there any
Not
of that
really. I
going
mean,
on? Or
they have owners meetings. John goes on there. I try to keep myself out there, getting dragged into stuff that doesn't have any impact, and I don't really need to be on. I'm in enough meetings and stuff these days. Well, I know quite a few of the GMs and stuff around about the league as it is anyway. And to be honest, most of the head coaches run the team as well. So
yeah,
Aaron, Ryan, stuff like that. So um, I between John, Martin, and I, we kind of take care of everything like that.
what about your role within the SIH? What are you doing? Are you still involved with Scotland and
Like
yeah,
a little bit. So I'm still a director of the board there, and I sit on the discipline committee. Although I didn't with the Jay Lucas thing, just to be clear.
yeah,
Um, but so I sit on that and just I give the guys an opinion on that and that's pretty much it. I run the national program for years, but over the past 18 months, I've took a step back from that. We've got more help in there now, and it's running really well. And so yeah, take some things to do with kind of the Scotland under 19s and bits and bobs like that. And I'd dip in and out when the board need a decision on stuff like that. But in terms of day-to-day business, I took a massive step back over the last kind of 6 months from that, and that was always the plan. I'm the Scottish rep on the Ice Hockey UK board, obviously, but I mean we only meet a couple of times a year for that. So
Yeah.
I sit on the GB performance committee thing with Clarky and a few other people in there. But it's pretty. What I will say is it's pretty plain sailing right now. Those guys have when I first went in, I was really dubious, if I was honest. But the work that's been done that nobody really sees over the past 18 months, 2 years, allows those two functions. They're all going in the right direction, which is good. But my plan is to step back from all of it at some point.
Yeah.
Who knows when? But I don't won't be in it for. I won't be the old man getting carried out in the box and still doing it. That's for sure.
You've got one final question for you. Obviously, I talk to people within SIH, with EIH and Ice Hockey UK. From the outside looking in, and I know Henry's been talking in public about, the unification and stuff like that. Is this the best relationship you've seen between the SIH, the EIH, and Ice Hockey UK? It's for my money, it seems to be the most open dialogue, the best it's kind of been between all three governing bodies.
Yeah,
And from you, from
undoubtedly.
like the inside, yeah,
Yeah, undoubtedly. And it's probably happened. Couple of years ago, there was I'm quite careful what I say here. There was a shift in some personnel within England, right? And I actually started working really closely with likes of Martin Peters and Pitch and these kind of guys on the Scotland England stuff. And then we got to know each other a bit better, and we started working on more joint projects. And then Ice Hockey UK came into that equation as well, and it all kind of filtered from there, really. And John Colley, our chair, has really good and open dialogue with them all the time. The discipline committee, actually, from England and Scotland, worked on both of those things last week for the first time ever to make sure that
amazing.
there was an aligned approach. So all of that stuff just wouldn't have happened even 5 years ago.
Not a
So
chance.
no, so I to answer your question in short, 100%, it's definitely the best place it's ever been. And why would it not be? It's ludicrous that
Yeah,
there's pulling the game in different directions. So yeah, it's really nice to see that. And it kind of makes all the effort and all the meetings and all the hours and stuff worthwhile when you get positivity about it rather than some of the stuff that went on in the past.
yeah. What a positive way to finish this interview, Jamie. Thank you very much. We wish you and the Solway Sharks the best of luck for the rest of the season here. It's going to be nice to get back at home and get your feet under the table.
Yeah,
So, all the best, buddy. Thanks for coming on, ladies and
thanks, mate.
gents. This has been 4,000 Counting. We'll see you for another episode very, very soon. Peace.